Policing has come a long way since the days of Wyatt Earp. Technology is being used to catch criminals and deploy resources. The Park City Police Department is using intelligence-led policing. Our guest today is Wade Carpenter, Chief of Police. Chief, thanks for joining us. Tell me about how are you using intelligence-based policing? What really is that?
In the last, since 2010, we actually have hired part-time analysts that actually look at all that crime data. They do projections, they do modeling. If we have an issue, a particular issue in a given area, and of course, if you live in that area, you feel like, hey, the world's falling apart and we're really getting hit hard in this area. We're looking at that during our briefings daily or at least weekly, meaning that if we have a trend, an uptick in crime, we try to find out why that is and then put the appropriate resources in that area.
How is this helping you to apprehend criminals? Obviously, you're using a lot of data, and data is great, but you and I know that still officers have to interact with the community, get out of their vehicles, talk to people, talk to their business people. How is this helping you apprehend the criminals?
So we've created a much greater sector accountability, meaning that anytime I hire an officer, when they're going through their field training portion, they actually have to, in that training process, take on a project that they think is specific to their sector or area of responsibility, meaning there's personal accountability to the people in that area. If there's more than one incident in an area, it's not just another incident, it's a problem. And so we want to push those officers into digging a little deeper, finding out why that crime is occurring and potentially who those subjects are. And so they actually take on these projects, meaning that they have relationships of trust in the community with the people that are living in that area. We're only as good as the information we receive from our community. And we found that when we have good open relationships, they do share information.
So tell me about your interactions with the business community. How is the business community responding to the intelligence-led policing, and what are you doing with the business community?
So we have a program called Shop Watch. Shop Watch I have a specific officer or officers that are responsible to the business district. The idea being is that if they're in that district and we had, for example, a retail theft or another problem, then the expectation from us is that our officers working in that area know who the shop owners are.
So you're going to be able to use that to not only move forward with the technology piece, but also profiling the community, seeing again where the resources need to be deployed, also where maybe for staffing you needed to put your staffing, and also it would probably help you maybe get more staffing. As you know, Park City, we are growing in the whole Summit County area. So how is that going to be a challenge for you going forward with staffing levels?
Well, we were talking earlier, we have some 276 special events a year in Park City. And you look at what's going on worldwide, obviously security is a huge part when you have special events. And our goal and the council's goal and our objectives is to keep our community safe and to keep our special events safe. And we put a great deal of effort, time, and money into those. When we have a special event, we may pull in from 3 to 5 different entities and have over 100 officers on a shift. Sundance being a great example of that.
Chief, tell me about, with the technology and officers still getting out of their cars, talking to people, how are you going to tie this all together to help you get more resources for all the things that go on here in Park City?
We use a lot of different technology. We work closely with the sheriff's office. We use drones with apps to do crowd counts. We use drones to help evaluate potential risks in crowds. So it's, we try to use all the resources that we have to make sure that we can create safe events.
Chief, how can our viewers help you in the department?
Well, as I said before, we are only as good as the intelligence we receive. And so if the community sees something, we would like them to say something.
Well, Chief Carpenter, thank you for the great job you and your department are doing to protect the citizens of Park City. And thank you for spending some time with me today.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate it.